Welcome back. Taking a full look at weather for you, Chief Meteorologist Dan Cianca. Not too bad out there, although some of us would say we're starting to feel more like summer around here.
Yeah, summer is such an interesting word around here, right? It's
True.
kind of subjective, you know.
True.
Because we have our local summer, which is
later in the year.
September and October, where we have our little heat waves, and it can be 80 degrees on the beach. But this time of year, it's hard to get that, especially as we head into June and July. Our record highs dip down into the 80s, so we just don't have heat waves during that time of year. We're kind of on the edge of the spring season, where occasionally we do have heat waves, and there's some potential for something like that in the forecast maybe next week, which we'll talk about. But in the meantime, we're just going to be doing some minor temperature fluctuations. Today we had some drier air that moved in as we take a live look from Domenico's on the wharf right now. That drier air helped mix out our marine layer, but it was also somewhat warmer air mass as well, and that's going to keep temperatures a little bit warmer here over the next couple days. High pressure is building in from the west. We do have a trough passing by to the north, but it's going to be gone really by tomorrow, really already moving on as we head into tomorrow afternoon. It'll be moving up through the northern Rockies, bringing some weather for folks up there. But the ridge to the west builds in. That's going to warm us up here over the next couple of days. And the flow generally going to stay out of the northwest at least through Thursday, which is going to keep temperatures a little bit warmer and that marine layer a little bit drier, so we won't see the amount of clouds that you could see this time of year. We might see a little reverse trend as we head into the weekend. A weak trough passes by to the north, not far enough south that it will give us the threat of any rain, but far enough south that will cool our temperatures a bit. But then the next ridge begins to build in from the west, and we're going to see this on and off here over the next week or so. Weak troughs passing by to the north, and then the ridge building in between, and that's just going to have a little bit of a roller coaster. Not a crazy roller coaster. We're talking like the kiddie coaster effect on our temperature here over the next week or so. Then late next week, a big ridge looks like it's going to build in here across the western United States. That might be a little different to talk about. I wouldn't get too excited on the coast as far as heat's concerned, because usually when the ridge is to our east, we're still in onshore flow, but we'll see what happens. Future track showing a few low clouds overnight tonight, partly cloudy skies by the time we wake up tomorrow morning. Can't rule out a little fog. And then as we get into the afternoon tomorrow, that dry northwesterly flow, well, relatively dry northwesterly flow, will clear out the bay again. And I think we'll get a full clear out once again tomorrow afternoon. So there may be a few kind of feathery low clouds like we saw today, but generally speaking, another very sunny day, and temperatures will be warmer tomorrow before the clouds fill back in tomorrow night. Let's take a look at some of those temperatures now. Here's what I'm expecting across Santa Cruz County. An enclave of low 80s in Boulder Creek and Ben Lomond, and that south northwesterly flow coming down off the mountain should get us into the mid 70s in Santa Cruz and into Capitola. You might have a little bit of a sea breeze at times on the beaches, which will be a little bit cooler, but generally in the town, you'll be more dominated by that northwesterly wind, which will keep things kind of warm. On the east shore of the bay, we're still going to see those northwesterly winds into Aptos and Watsonville, keeping you in the 70s, but we don't have the benefit of that in Castroville and Marina. You're off the water, which is going to keep you in the 60s. Salinas closing in on 70, pretty seasonable high, upper 70s Hollister, 80s in the Santa Clara Valley. That's two valleys in the 80s. Will we see more? Tune in on the next graphic to find out. Not this one, though. Low to mid 60s around the peninsula tomorrow. Northwest winds, again, coming off the water, which is still only around 56 degrees. And then down south, well, there's some 80s. We've got another hot day in the San Antonio Valley, Bradley at 90, Parkfield at 89. But the Salinas Valley and the closer to the coast valleys like Carmel Valley, and that occasionally someone asks me, where's that? You say Big Sur, what does that mean, right? I know Big Sur is a general area, but that specific forecast is for the valley. So we're talking, you know, where all the businesses and the inns are up toward the post office, that whole general vicinity, okay? So 75 in that valley tomorrow. And then let's look at that 7-day forecast for coastal areas. Temperatures peak on Thursday and then kind of even out at more seasonable levels as we head into the weekend. We'll probably see a few low clouds here or there, but then we're going to warm back up, it looks like, next week. Notably warmer at night as well. It looks like we'll see a warmer, more moist air mass out of the northwest just kind of roll in over the ridge, which will increase our morning lows. We also will probably see some low clouds at times with that as well, but it might actually feel a little muggy because of the humidity there. So that's something I'm watching next week, which is going to be kind of interesting on the coast. Inland areas, temperatures jump up on Thursday, drop back down through Saturday, then head back up into early next week. There's the kiddie coaster. So enjoy it.
Maybe planning some walks after dinner. Thank you, Dan.